In the beginning, before time, before light, and even before the concept of existence, there was only the unnameable, a primordial entity whose essence transcended form, limit, or comprehension. This was God, with a capital G, the Alpha and the Omega, the origin and destiny of all things. He was an overwhelming presence in the absolute void, where not even the echo of silence could exist. In his infinite solitude, he conceived the idea of creation, not out of necessity, but from the desire to see his unknowable vastness reflected in infinite forms. With a single thought, he birthed the stars, igniting the nothingness with an eternal fire. Countless stars were born, their flames piercing the darkness in all directions, creating a cosmos that expanded endlessly. Planets formed around these suns, shaped with divine precision. Some worlds were lush, filled with purple skies and golden seas. Others were dark and hostile, covered in poisonous deserts or forests that breathed malice. Every detail was meticulously sculpted by the will of the Creator, yet as he breathed life into the cosmos, the effort exacted a price. Each new creation drained a fragment of his own essence, binding him irrevocably to all that existed. When the universe finally took shape, God beheld his work. Though glorious, there was a profound emptiness. Creation was a tapestry, with no eyes to admire its colors, no voices to sing its wonders. And so he fashioned the 11 Primordials, his firstborn children. They were beings of pure cosmic energy, fragments of his own essence, reflections of aspects of the Creator, yet each unique in purpose and nature. The Primordials were beautiful and terrible, vast in power and depth. To them, God entrusted the task of filling the universe with life. Together, they composed the music of life, a divine symphony that reverberated through the fabric of the cosmos. From this melody sprang the first living beings, simple forms that evolved in complexity, growing in number and diversity. Oceans pulsed with mysterious creatures. Forests were inhabited by colossal beasts, and skies were filled with wings that sliced through the winds. It was an age of harmony, a dance between creation and creator. For millennia, the Primordials fulfilled their duties, spreading life to every corner of the cosmos. But the vastness of the universe gradually separated them from their Father. Isolated in their tasks, they began to experience something they had never felt before: doubt. Their connection to the Creator weakened, their divine voices growing inaudible to him. Some, in their attempt to understand what they had lost, began to create independently, shaping their own versions of life. And it was in that moment that ruin took root. As they created independently, the Primordials drifted from their original amorphous forms, taking on physical aspects that reflected their personalities and obsessions. Some became colossal figures, monstrosities whose mere presence warped reality around them. Others adopted subtler, yet no less sinister forms, concealing dark intentions behind deceptively delicate facades. The separation from the Creator and the mutation of their forms bred resentment among many of the Primordials. Some believed they had been abandoned, while others sought to usurp God's place as the universe's supreme ruler. Factions arose among the siblings, and soon resentment gave way to war. Thus began the War of the Celestials, a cataclysmic conflict that shattered worlds, wiped entire species from existence, and stained the tapestry of creation with blood. The Primordials wielded their own creations as armies, manipulating them like pawns in a cosmic game of chess. Entire planets were turned into battlegrounds, their skies ablaze with storms of devastating energy. The cries of mortals echoed through the stars, but their pleas went unheard by their divine masters. The Creator, weakened by the burden of sustaining the universe, watched in agony as his masterpiece unraveled. In his grief, he wove a new song, a mournful melody that resonated across all existence. This music carried the sorrow of a father for his lost children and the ruin of his creation. Those who heard it wept, from the lowliest mortals to many of the Primordials themselves. Some of the wayward sons and daughters repented, laying down their weapons and joining the hymn of redemption. Yet others, consumed by pride or wrath, refused to heed the lament. They saw it as weakness, a final proof that the Creator was no longer fit to rule. And so, the war raged on, tearing deeper scars into the fabric of reality. But even in the darkest hour, the song endured, a fragile hope, a whisper of healing, waiting for the day when the shattered might once again be made whole. But not all Primordials were moved. Those who had strayed too far, whose hearts had been consumed by wrath and pride, composed their own melody. Their song was a scream of defiance, seething with chaos and rancor. Where the creator's hymn sought unity, theirs sought division. And so, the cosmos became engulfed in a battle between two songs, one of harmony, the other of discord. In his final act of power, the creator reshaped the very structure of existence. He split his creation into 12 dimensions, each a reflection of a different aspect of reality. Every primordial was imprisoned within one of these realms, bound alongside their twisted creations and devoted followers. The 12th dimension was reserved for the mortals who had remained uncorrupted, a sanctuary amidst the storm. With this last act, the creator exhausted himself completely, falling into a deep and endless slumber. Yet even in his dreaming, his presence lingers, subtly shaping fate through visions and whispers. Within their dimensional prisons, the primordials built dark empires in their own image. Some continued to spawn life, but their creations bore the mark of corruption, grotesque beings, ravenous for power and ruin. Others turned inward, obsessively refining their domains or seeking ways to transcend their confinement. But all, without exception, yearned for escape. Slowly, the primordials began extending their influence into the 12th dimension. They sent forth emissaries, subtle whispers in the dark, cursed artifacts, and mortal prophets swayed by false promises. Cults arose in their name, spreading like a plague as devoted servants worked to erode the barriers between worlds. Some mortals, lured by power or deceived by half-truths, became unwitting pawns in a game older than time itself. And so, the creator's song, though faint, still struggles against the dissonance of the primordials. The fate of the universe hangs in the balance, caught in an eternal war between light and shadow, harmony and chaos. Some believe the Creator will one day awaken to restore all things. Others fear that when he does, it will not be to save creation, but to judge it. Until then, the 12th dimension remains the final battleground, where mortal choices may yet tip the scales toward salvation or annihilation.